Hey guys, it's Josh here, and today I have another video for you guys, and in today's video we're going over the best M13 loadout you can possibly make for both multiplayer and Warzone in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I know I say this with a lot of weapons, but the M13 is truly slept on. Honestly, I've been using it to, of course, get Damascus because I've been going for it, and well, you can see in this gameplay I do have Damascus, and well, the M13 is a hidden gem in COD. It's a very fast fire rate, and well, the only real issue is ammo, and well, if you run the right attachments like I am today, you can easily dominate with the M13. Honestly, if you play super aggressive with the M13, you're gonna win most 1v1s or 2v1s because, well, you're just gonna have a better rate of fire than the enemy. So it makes winning those fights super easy, but the only real issue with this gun is the damage fall off range, which makes it okay for Warzone, but actually pretty decent for multiplayer because not a lot of the maps have super long range areas. But no more stalling around, let's now go through our Warzone class to start this video off. Before we go into Gunsmith like usual, let's go over what perks you should run in Warzone using this M13 class. For our perk 1 slot, we are of course going to run EOD. The reason running EOD in Warzone is because we want to take reduced damage from any lethals that could possibly hit us in game. So meaning if our truck explodes, we can possibly survive it. If we get hit with a launcher to our face, we could possibly survive it. EOD is just a much needed perk in Warzone. And now moving on to our perk 2 slot in Warzone, and that slot will be filled by Overkill. The reason running Overkill is, well, we just want an SMG in our back pocket or a sniper rifle to deal with either super long range enemies or the enemies coming up close. I personally recommend an SMG over sniper rifle, but that is truly up to you. If you of course need a good SMG class, there's a whole playlist on this channel you can check out to find one. And moving on to our third and final perk slot for Warzone, we are of course going to run Amped. The reason running Amped is because we're running Overkill. Running 2 primaries is a lot harder to run with because you have a longer weapon swap time, and that means a less mobility in case someone pushes you. So in case someone pushes you and you desperately need to swap to your second weapon, Amped allows us to do that, allowing us to of course survive the fight. And with that being done, we're now onto the actual Warzone class. So on your screen is it as a whole, so pause the video, do whatever, just make sure you have this information saved. Now that you have that saved, let's go over these attachments. Alright, for your first attachment, go to muzzle and set the monolithic suppressor. The reason running monolithic suppressor on the M13 is because the M13 has some horrible damage fall off. So we of course need to fix that by increasing the damage range this weapon has. And while the monolithic suppressor is a much needed attachment to do that. Alright, moving on to our second attachment, go to barrel and set the Tempest Marksman barrel. The reason running this barrel is because we want to increase the damage range more and also increase our bullet velocity, but an added benefit of this barrel of course gives us recoil control, meaning this weapon is basically no recoil with the other attachments we add onto this. Alright, moving on to our third attachment, go to underbarrel and select the Commando foregrip. The reason running Commando foregrip is just simply we want to eliminate both horizontal and vertical recoil, and the Commando foregrip handles all of the horizontal and our barrel basically handles all of the vertical, meaning this weapon is a just straight laser beam. Alright, moving on to our fourth attachment, go to ammunition and select the 60 round magazine. The reason of course running this magazine is because we simply just need more bullets in case our enemies have armor, and even though we eliminated a lot of the fall off damage range, we still have slight compared to other ARs, so we just need the extra bullets in case there are farther distances as well. And of course for our fifth and final attachment, go to optic and select the VLK 3x optic. Since this is of course a long range AR class for Warzone, we need to of course have a decent optic to see both at medium to long ranges, so the VLKs is simply the best when it comes to majority of players. Honestly, if you feel more comfortable with the scout attachment or just anything else that is a long range sight, simply use that because it will help you use this weapon, but the VLK is just the best for a majority of players. And with that being said, now let's go through the M13 class for of course multiplayer. Before we go into the M13 Gunsmith, let's go over what perks we need to dominate multiplayer. For our first perk, we of course going to run EOD. The reason running EOD in multiplayer is the same as in Warzone. We want to take reduced damage from lethal explosions, meaning we can simply survive longer and stay on longer kill streaks. Alright, moving on from multiplayer, our second perk must be Ghost. The reason running Ghost is because we just don't want to be detected by UAVs, personal radars, or heartbeat sensors. If we can stay undetected from those, we can easily just go around the map and kill enemies. And of course, for our third slot, I of course recommend Battle Hardened. The reason I say use Battle Hardened because it reduces the strength of flash and stun grenades, which is super effective right now in multiplayer because they're very popular for some reason in multiplayer. So taking reduced strength from those allows us to just survive if that happens to us. And with that being said, now let's go through the M13 Gunsmith class. Alright, on your screen is it as a whole, so pause the video, share it with a friend, just do whatever, make sure you have this information saved. Now that you have it saved, let's go through why we're running these attachments. Alright, for your first attachment, your barrel, and set the Tempest Cyclone. The reason running Tempest Cyclone in multiplayer is because, well, you don't need the full benefit of the Tempest Marksman when it comes to range and everything, you simply just need the bullet velocity. Since multiplayer isn't Warzone and we're not shooting across hundreds of meters, we don't need the full benefit of the Tempest Marksman plus the Monolith Expressor. The Tempest Cyclone gets what it needs done in multiplayer. For our next attachment, go to underbarrel and set Commando Foregrip. The reason running Commando Foregrip is because, well, even though this weapon isn't exactly a laser beam in multiplayer, it barely has any vertical recoil, it just has a lot of horizontal. So running Commando Foregrip is the best possible situation for this M13 class. Alright, moving on to our third attachment, go to laser and select the Tact Laser. The reason running Tact Laser is because we want to decrease our ADS time and increase aiming stability, and well, the best way to do that on any weapon is using the Tact Laser, so that is why we're running it on the M13. Alright, moving on to our fourth attachment, go to ammunition, select the 50 round magazine. The reason of course running the 50 round magazine is because we don't want the lost mobility of the 60 round mag, but the 30 round blackout tracer rounds or the base 30 round magazine is simply just not enough bullets for what the M13's fire rate is. So the perfect number in multiplayer is of course the 50 round magazine. And now moving on to our fifth and final attachment, go to rear grip and select the stippled grip tape. The reason of course running stippled grip tape is because we do want to decrease our ADS time, but we don't want to hurt recoil control. So the best way to do that on the M13 is by using the stippled grip tape. Now that both M13 classes are done, the video is basically over, but I do want to tell you guys something. This video was inspired by Stefan Plays here, and if you want to be just like Stefan and be a reason a video is made and you need help in Modern Warfare, go down in the comments after this video and leave a weapon or just tips you want to see in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Alright, with that being said, this is now the end of the video, so if you liked the video, leave it a like. If you didn't like the video, leave it a dislike and let me know why in the comments below. And well, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, it shows me support, and also please hit that notification bell so you get notifications when these videos come out. With that being said, this is now the end of the video, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.